Hey everyone, Matthew from the
1940s.
1940s here, and the rest of the 1940s. We're all here together today. So we postponed our podcast to Wednesday because we wanted to stand with the Black Lives Matter movement. Um, we are going to have links in our bio that when this video airs, you'll be able to see them for ways you can help. You could donate. There's a couple of bills on there that you could support, all kinds of ways like that. So we felt like it was important to take a stand as musicians, and we hope that everyone else who is a friend of ours that's a musician also does that as well, if they want to.
I'll
So,
be honest. If me and Matthew, or I can't speak for Matthew, but if I didn't live with someone who's autoimmune, who has an autoimmune
immunocompromised.
disease, yeah, autoimmune compromised or old people, I probably would have peacefully protested. You know?
Not everybody did it peacefully, but I can't really argue with them. I'm not really like, oh, don't do that. I'm kind of like, maybe the time's come, you know?
And there's plenty of ways to be involved and show your support without protesting. There are many other ways to do it as well. So
Yeah, you could donate some big bucks. You can
True.
we all took a bunch of pictures of our palms today and posted them.
Blackout.
But for real though, yeah, donate to
We'll have the link in our bio where you can donate.
yeah. Also, I don't like the looters though. I think it takes away from the point. But when you're not being heard for so long, what do they think's going to happen? You know,
Yeah,
you're supposed.
I'm not arguing I'm not like agreeing or arguing. I'm kind of like, I
Yeah.
kind of get it, but you know, I always think there's a better way, but sometimes there isn't, you know.
I think it's like
Sucks.
back in the schoolyard days when someone would get into a fist fight, and it's like they like, oh, this person, oh wow, he cheated on whoever with his girlfriend or something, whatever reason, or oh, he's fighting for his brother or something. Like I know a couple times I got jumped and John's come to the rescue with some of his friends, and there might be fights and stuff. Violence is never the answer, but sometimes you understand where people are coming from.
Sometimes
Sure.
gloves are all you need.
Yeah, there you go.
Fisticuffs.
and in this social media age, you can only see so many videos of someone getting senselessly murdered before, you know, the frustration builds. So I definitely understand the rage everyone feels right now, all the emotion.
Oh yeah.
So that's why
I do have to say, I can't imagine how it must feel to see those videos and be black. I just have to say it. I don't understand it on that level, and I never will. So, you know, to feel as strongly about it as they do, and understand it in a way that only they can understand. Maybe I think that's why when the other day we were talking on our live concert on Sunday about having empathy for other people. You have to in situations like this. You have to try and understand where people are coming from and realize that, all right, 99.999% of people just want their voice heard and just want good change, so they don't see people, their brothers and sisters being murdered senselessly.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a perspective that we're never going to get, you know, obviously, but you know, empathy is universal. It can be.
Hopefully, it is.
Hopefully.
So, that's a very big issue. We don't want the whole podcast to be centered on it. We still do believe that there also you're also should people in our position should also still bring some joy as a band and musician. That's why we're putting on concerts still every Sunday and all that kind of stuff, because music is very powerful and can still bring happiness into your life no matter what situation you're in, or help you with hard emotions too. That's why what was it yesterday, John? We were the band was a part of
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Monday we were a part of the Fire's World Unity concert, and they're holding these really cool like open mic unity concerts that are all around the world. There was people from Italy. There was people they were playing from Malta. It was just people from everywhere.
Yeah.
So we're all part of that. It was awesome.
Mexico. I
Mexico.
think there was a guy from. I want to say that the link said Japan, but I'm not 100% sure because I missed the last act because I had to get ready for the actual Zoom interview that we did. But everyone was great. It was a lot of fun. We met a lot of cool people. And they really liked us. They liked our songs, which is pretty cool. And
Awesome.
you know what I didn't get to ask? I got to take the glasses off because my face is on a pillow, and it's. You know what I didn't get to ask?
Don't fall
I didn't
asleep
get
over
to
there,
ask. I know. I didn't get to ask the Boo Boo where she got her name from. The Boo Boo's a local DJ, and a producer, and I didn't get to ask her. I forgot.
You know, I didn't get to tell them either on our Zoom call, and you guys are going to find out for the first time real quick, and then we'll go right back. I retired as a NASCAR driver. I'm now a professional tennis player. Hence this. Just wanted to let everyone know. So that's what
I'll see you in Wimbledon.
Put my time. Yeah, exactly. My goal now is to become the #1 ranked tennis player. I'm 3rd in the world right now. So, by next week, you never know.
Good luck.
So back to what we were saying. We were part of this awesome concert. And it's the owner and the booker of the Fire, Karen and Becca, are I guess they're putting it together. They're mainly responsible. If I don't know exactly how their responsibilities are doled out, but it was an awesome show. So we're going to be sharing the link probably over the next couple weeks. So make sure you check that out too, and check out all the other great artists that were involved in that.
I just think it's really nice. I just want to say that, fuck you, I'm talking. I just want to say it's really nice to see Matthew representing the U.S. in tennis and both of you representing the U.S. In that Fire concert. Great job, guys. You make us proud.
Thank you. But I think Matthew's
all around the world.
I think Matthew's representing Uruguay for tennis, though.
No, I'm actually not. I'm representing good old U.S. and day. Exactly. And that's why I got my hair up like this. Can you imagine me being on the court with my hair flying everywhere, and it just wouldn't look good.
Getting sweat in your eyes.
Yeah. And I really just had enough of the fast lanes, the quick tire changes, going on the fly. There was a big 34 car pile up the other day, and that was just practice. That wasn't even weird. That was just to like drive around the track. So
that was on the way to the racetrack.
Yeah, let's go past that. So moving on. That wasn't on the way.
It was your time.
I don't want
time to retire.
But yeah, now I'm a professional tennis player. I just met Federer yesterday. He's a nice guy. Although he stinks.
Not as good as you though.
Well, I'm not talking about ability. I'm just talking about him as he's a nice person. He smells a little bit, but he's a nice person. He don't want you to know that. That's what the tabloids don't tell you about Roger Federer. He actually has a small smell to him. Great person.
I'll never look at him the same way.
Yeah, I know. So what's been going on, Nick? Anything new with you?
Yes, I returned to work this week, and I'm rather exhausted. The quarantine sucks for many reasons, but take advantage of your U time because it can disappear rather quickly.
Did you go back start of the week? Beginning of the week?
Yeah.
Let's also give a quick shout out to everybody who didn't get time off, still had to work.
Essential workers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Matthew was one of them like twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I'm working every Friday.
That's not so bad.
No.
All right, so
for now it's not.
Let's talk about the real elephant in the room. We released a record a little while ago called Nightbirds. And it's out everywhere. And we put it out at a weird time because it was right before the world was set ablaze by coronavirus. And then police brutality and racism. So now it's like, but we still want you to listen. So
Yeah, please.
you know, it might help just a tiny bit, and that's all we want to do right now.
I bring you back to the clubs and partying because some of the songs are at least about that.
At least in your head.
It feels like so long ago.
With one of your friends, if you listen to Drake Taylor.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Nick, tell us about your this week's Knicks pick.
I loved it this week. I thought the song was great.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, that one. That's been in my my car CD player for about 2 years. I guess if going back to these last two Knicks picks, because there's been a whole whopping 3 so far. I guess what I'm looking at now, like I gravitate towards different time signatures, and because I mentioned those in the last 2, and I like it when bands try to be different. I haven't actually confirmed whether any of those songs were in a different time signature, but I really appreciate the grooves.
Maybe you could at least say a feeling. At least they feel different, whether you can confirm it or not.
They absolutely do. Not there's like 2 and 4 weren't always a snare drum hit, so I really dig it. I've been waiting for their next album, but I guess they're delayed, like most artists, because of the coronavirus.
You know, we should do, Nick, when you run out of albums, because you said you're going to. The rest of us will take turns, and it'll be called Prick's Pick.
Ooh. Are you gonna choose with your penises?
Yeah.
Just flop them a little.
Yeah. This is a great floppy disk.
Ooh. Throwback.
You guys are gonna be mad when all my picks are 8-bit versions of songs.
Ooh.
I heard an 8-bit version of, I think it was what's that Strokes song? I'm not gonna give it a break. I'm not sure. I heard an 8-bit version of that. It was excellent. Excelente.
Don't they all kind of sound the same though, or did I just give away a trade secret?
They do kind of sound similar, but if you really know a song well and it's done well and you can hear the different parts in 8-bit, it's really interesting.
Oh.
But so yeah, Nick, you're. I think this was my favorite.
Picks have been really on point. They were getting better and better.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'm
probably gonna disappoint this week.
I've been happy with them.
All right, it's time.
It's not time yet. Oh, what time is it?
It's the best part of our podcast, our new show. What did Josh do with all my vitamin B1, aka thiamine?
Oh shit!
I don't.
We didn't know you had a shortage.
What do you use that for?
I use it for hangovers and some energy.
It's not working. Josh took it all. He's
I didn't take
it
today. I'm not drinking until June 20th, so I didn't take it today.
Well, I'm routinely the calmest and most laid-back member of the band, so I just figured it was time to kick into extra Red Bull style, just go crazy, I needed them.
With B1.
Speaking of which, Josh, what have you been up to over there? What's keeping you sane? You're not in class right now, currently.
I'm not. A lot of music. Definitely a lot of music. So
Ooh.
That's not that much different actually from what I normally do. Yeah.
Maybe when Nick's picks run out, we can go to we have to come up with a catchy name for Josh's playlist.
Until we can come up with a good name.
Yeah, this is the highlight of the podcast. We're going cold on names.
Stumping the 40s.
How about Stupid's Choice?
Oh yeah.
Is that a Cupid's choice?
Oh my god.
John, they say humor is just a reflection of yourself.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, that might be a good idea. I think it's good because Josh and Nick definitely listen to different kind of stuff than me and John do. Me and John's music taste is kind of the same in a lot of ways. I think it's because we live with each other, so as soon as he finds something out, I find it out.
And vice versa.
Yeah. So and I'll hear something. John, we're professionals and we're podcasting, and you left the vibration on your phone.
Yeah,
Dude,
I did.
every time.
I just shook my hand really fast, actually.
What did you do?
I just shook my hand really fast, actually.
Josh doesn't believe that, and neither do I.
But Nick does. That's all I need.
It's possible.
Lord. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Nick,
Yeah.
I've been eating, my diet in the past 4 days has been it's been really low carb, and it's been about 90% vegetables.
How's that possible?
I cut out 95% of my animal proteins, and I cut out all bread and carbs and grains. So I'm doing vegetarian with a little. Well, I'm eating meat, but and I'm eating eggs, but
Not vegetarian at all.
I know, but no, but it's like 2 pieces. It's about 4 cups of like greens, and then 2 pieces of like turkey lunch meat, and that's my dinner, and cheese and olive oil. And then for breakfast, it's 2 eggs and avocado, 2 cups of kale, 2 cups of spinach, and then I'm eating like nuts for lunch, nuts and dark chocolate.
So on this week on John's Corner, John shares John's dieting tips.
Also,
next week for his recipes.
Also, when I have my coffee now, I put MCT oil in it for some healthy fats and some nice brain energy.
All right.
But since my body's transitioning, I'm exhausted and dizzy half the day.
How many days until this diet works for you?
It usually takes about a week for my body to adjust, but the first week's rough. I couldn't do it. I tried to start it in the beginning of quarantine just because it's the healthiest way to live, and your immune system gradually gets bulletproof with coronavirus and all. But I just I couldn't stick with it, and I gained 20 pounds. So I actually had to. I have to do it because I weigh 230, and I just can't live like that. My legs hurt.
I like how we started out this episode with Black Lives Matter. Then it turned into Privileged John talks about how he can't even.
Yeah.
Fat lives matter as well, Nick.
Fat lives, yes.
Oh, boy.
Fat. I'm trying to get down.
No, just John.
I'm trying to get down to 162.
John's life matters.
162.
I'm kidding.
You're going to float away.
I was going to say, you'll weigh less than me.
I just want to burn some fat and keep some muscle. That's all.
Nothing wrong with that.
I feel like you're starting out in a good intention place, all healthy, and then you're one step away from becoming the next Gwyneth Paltrow, and you'll have your own Netflix show, just like Goop, just giving people weird tips.
Goop. well, Gwyneth Paltrow, Josh, did you know that Gwyneth Paltrow sold, it was like a vagina scented candle or something?
I did, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be
You mean you don't have one?
I didn't know we were going to talk about that live.
I make my own with my own juices.
Josh's is burning right now.
It's called Pricks Wicks.
Yeah, John's obsessed with dicks and pricks.
Yeah, I know. It's the it's the diet that changed everything.
He's used to looking at one in the mirror every day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where's Nick?
All right. So John's diet.
Oh, you know what? Another PSA. Follow Dr. Gundy. He's the guy who I get the diet from. And also, take you some vitamin D3 during this time, 5,000 IUs daily. All right, I'm ready for
I
the
will
next
say, the guy's not a nutritionist, and 5,000 is 1,000 over every health organization's recommended daily limit. So just be careful, because not everyone's
please.
body can handle.
Anyone that actually does research knows that 5,000 IUs is
Besides
totally
all of the people that do research.
No, they're saying that because fucking one person had too much vitamin. It's almost, you can't find proof that vitamin D3 too much of it's bad for you. Besides
Yo,
one
Josh
case,
is on the hunt. Josh is on the hunt.
besides one case,
Yes, the screen just lit up.
in like 19 something, this guy took 1 million IUs a day for 6 months
million?
by accident.
How do you take 1 million steps
By accident.
It's like
That's
telling
fake
you,
news.
look up Dr. Gundy. This guy, Dr. Gundy, he for 40 years he was a heart surgeon, a very successful one. He created a new kind of. He created the artificial heart. That's his creation, and he knows why people. He's opened up so many bodies. He's done so much research. He knows why people get sick, and it's all gut bacteria. It all starts there. So you have to feed your gut what it actually needs instead of just carbs. And that's what the diet is. It's eating the best for your stomach. And everything else, it's there's also a lot of research done on people that are in their that are living well into their hundreds and actually still have decent life quality. And every one of them eats well for gut health. It's that's where the diet came from, is looking at the healthiest people in the world, the oldest people in the world, how to eat like them, so you can so everyone can optimize their best health.
Wow,
Well,
that's really
everyone check
informative.
that out and do your research.
There you go.
And maybe it'll change your life.
Yep.
Good to be 100.
Now we need to move on, because it's that time again every week. We actually have to actually speed this up a little bit. Song versus song.
All right. I'll speed it up. Ready?
What's our first one?
So our first one this week, song versus song. It's like college brackets, blah blah blah. Where this is Royals versus Bad Guy. Royals by Lorde versus Bad Guy by Billie Eilish. I'll go first.
Go.
These are my two paragraphs. Royals is lyrically one of my favorite pop songs from the 2000s, from the 2010s. It's a nice fuck you to whatever was around at the time. I really related to it because me and my friends were poor and kind of outsiders. Plus, it was a nice alternative for young pop fans. The song musically is kind of like Madness by Muse, but very minimalistic. She's more of an indie artist, Lorde, but with this song, she turned herself into a pop, huge pop star. Bad Guy is exactly what Royals was, but for the next generation, except it's a bit more produced. But her brother just so happens to be the best depression pop producer maybe ever, so it works out. I like this song, but the song itself, for as well produced it is, and how much fun and how cool it is not as good as Royals. Royals is better lyrically and better melodically. What would you rather listen to acoustically? Also, the ending of Bad Guy takes me out of it with how corny the lyrics are. You can tell that Billie wrote those lyrics and not her brother. So I pick Royals.
Nice.
Josh, what do you think?
Me? So I did not do that much research. I didn't look into it, and you've given me actually a lot to think about the song Royals, because I never really took it for more than just a pop song. Despite that, I still made my vote before this anyway. What I'm voting on is based purely on the groove itself. So for that, I vote Bad Guy. But
Wow.
all the things you said,
better baseline, 100%.
Yeah, but for all the things you said, I acknowledge them, and they're actually negatives for me. Like, I hate the ending. The last 40 seconds is horrible to me. The lyrics kind of suck. But I just listen for a lot of songs. I just listen to the groove, so I voted Bad Guy.
Mm.
All right. 1-1.
1-1.
Patrick, you're next.
Okay, so I agree with what a lot of John said. I don't like the Queen Bee stuff because, Lord can be great on her own. I don't know. Is that a Beyonce reference in the song?
I think she's saying she's
Or
in her
just
head.
Queen Bee?
She's acting like she's the queen bitch, or maybe she's acting like she's Beyonce. She's just like, let me live this.
Or maybe
fantasy.
she's an actual Queen Bee, like in as far as bees go. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
But she could be great on her own. She doesn't have to be Beyonce or be anyone else. She could be great on her own. But I also think both songs are great when it comes to like empowerment for like teen girls. Like, yeah, because there's a lot of songs for guys to listen to be like, oh yeah, I'm great. I mean, there's the whole genre of metal.
Like, am I right?
Yeah, like, am I right?
Or any 1940s song.
Or any 19 Cross from Peking. There's a lot of like puff your chest out, manly macho songs that any guy could listen to and feel like they're the shit. But there's not many songs I feel like for young girls to do that to, that are actually cool, that aren't like, you are beautiful no matter. Like sometimes they want to hear some cool shit too. They don't want to just,
Yeah, definitely.
they might think they're already beautiful, but they don't feel like they're cool. I don't know. I'm not a young girl. But I feel like, if I used to be, if I was, then I would really appreciate both of these songs. I feel like the end of Bad Guy really takes it out. Like I'm trying to judge on the whole entire song. The end of Bad Guy really throws me out of it. Not even that I mind the beat. I think it's kind of the lyrics. And they're dark and they're kind of fun. I feel like they kind of wrote Bad Guy as a joke. I don't know if that's offensive to people who really like the song, but
I could definitely see that.
To me, it almost seems like they were just goofing around. Not like they were like, this is like, fuck you. They were just writing it as a joke. Like, oh, this is a funny song. I'm the bad guy. I think it's so hard because I can dance to Bad Guy, and that gives it a lot of kudos for me. I can't dance to Royals. But I think I'm gonna go against a little bit of like my own internal instinct this week, because I've usually just been going right with my instinct. I think I'm gonna go with Bad Guy this time around.
Wow.
Oh wow.
And I think the reason is because I don't really care what Billie Eilish says in her song. I can't understand her voice. I can't understand her words. I'm giving this because Phineas is a genius.
I will say this though.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that I mean, I don't. It just makes me feel weird that she's like 16 when it came out, and she's saying she's going to seduce people's dads. But I mean, that's just one of the many. Phineas might have wrote that.
How many young young male rappers say shit about? I think Chief Keef has a line about fucking his teacher, and I don't think he was of age. So
Double standard.
There you go. No, you're right. You're right.
If she wants to seduce people's dads and they're dumb enough to fall for it and have sex with a minor and get locked up, then good for them. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Wherever the age of consent laws are, but that part doesn't take me out of it. I think I'm going with Josh this week. I kind of like the groove of Bad Guy a lot. I like the guy Phineas.
Wow.
And Billie Eilish is pretty cool too.
I definitely think Billie Eilish is cool. I just think she is the new. Like, I think Lorde did this before her. This teenage girl that came out and made alternative pop music that younger people can actually like and actually have some actual their street cred to it. You know what I mean?
I like that genre name, alternative pop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we kind of make alternative pop.
I wouldn't use the word
Don't
street
disagree.
cred. I don't think these two goofy looking white girls have any street cred.
Well, you don't know. She's from Lorde, I think, is from New Zealand. They like eat spiders and shit over there.
All right, that's pretty.
Matthew's saying what we feel.
All right, Nick,
what are you thinking?
I think you're all nuts. I think that song, that Bad Guy song, is poo poo. The only thing that's good about it is the keyboard riff, and honestly, the rest of the song's not worth hearing that 5 seconds of cool keyboard. I think Lord was great. That whole album was great. I don't know what happened to her.
It is a
If
really
she's
good
still
album.
around. Yeah, and it never like I always love the irony of like songs like that are about the underdog, about not having a bunch of money, and they end up making her like millions of dollars. Or she could be poor. I don't know. Anyway, Royals is it for me.
2-2. Wow.
2-2.
That's awesome.
All right. Sadly,
Both songs are kind of even for me, but
yeah, it is close. But Lord is I like Lord way better just herself.
all right. So what's our
Like
fan?
musically. So the fans voted. I want to say it was 74% of the fans voted for Bad Guy.
Wow, really?
So
I'm
Bad
surprised.
Guy wins. Bad Guy wins by fan vote.
Wow.
I'm okay with that because it's not going to make it past the next round.
No, it won't.
I
But-
probably won't.
But
To be real.
you ready for this? This was harder. This one
All
was
right, what's
harder
the
for
next
me.
one?
This one was harder for me than something versus God only knows.
I nominate Josh to go first on this one.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't want to go first because
I want you to go first because I feel like we always say points that you might make, and I want to see what you think before we.
well, the only thing is I'm still kind of making up my mind right
All right,
now,
well, let's just say what it is.
and we're short on time.
This
All right,
is
go.
these both of these bands are probably the most in our vein of music too. So this
Hey,
this
that's
was
true.
so tough. These are almost like our older brothers. But this is Sex on Fire by Kings of Leon versus Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
So tough. Josh, you think you could take it?
When you listen, oh god, this is so fucking hard. I love both these songs too, and both these bands, obviously. There's something, I know which way I'm voting, and it makes me sad no matter what, whichever one I pick. It's the opening riff. As soon as you hear that riff of Mr. Brightside, it's
Ooh.
just so, it's Mr. Brightside, it is. But I love both these songs. They're both so good. Yeah, it's Mr. Brightside. I'm done debating.
Any deeper reason behind any of it, or that's just what your body's telling you?
It's almost like the same thing where with the Something versus God Only Knows. I might pick a different song tomorrow, but it's kind of my gut instinct right now is Mr. Brightside. Just hearing that opening guitar riff, it just does it for me.
Did we say what the songs were?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, Sex on
Okay.
Fire versus Mr. Brightside.
Gotcha.
And Josh picks
I guess I'll go
Brightside.
Mr. Brightside. I guess I'll go next.
Okay.
Yeah. So I dig both songs also, and I have to say, bassist and drummer in both bands, very similar style, similar
Yeah.
sound.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with I'm voting Kings of Leon, Sex on Fire.
Oh, okay.
No
What did it
deeper
for you?
reason.
No deeper reason.
I
Any
think,
reason?
Oh, I'm
was
sorry,
that?
Nick. Go ahead.
I was gonna say any reason.
I think I just listening to both songs today. It was just Sex on Fire. I liked. I was really into the bass sound and the bass part. That's what did it for me today.
There definitely are a lot of little nudges, there's more little things sprinkled in and out. Keyboard lines, a lot of extra stuff that goes on in that song, a lot more production.
Yeah.
John, what do you think?
Yeah,
It's
Mr.
probably
Brightside.
written. So go read your thing while you still have time.
Sex on Fire is such a passionate, brilliant, incredible song. I think it's about an STD. It is one of those rock songs that will always be popular. It's got a grit to it that Mr. Brightside does not have, and Caleb's voice is so amazing in it. Also, the guitar line is great, the bass is great, the drums are incredible. The intro is one of the most well-known in the generation before us songs ever, like in that whole generation. I love Sex on Fire. I think it's incredible. Mr. Brightside starts off with maybe the most memorable guitar intro of the 2000s, including the 2010s. this transcended the indie rock scene and was more of a pop song. But when you actually dig into it, it's just as, if not more raw than anything the Strokes, Arctic Monkeys, Kings of Leon, or any of the others were doing back then. It's a credit to how amazing they are as songwriters to be able to write a pop song after a pop song after pop song, and still keep their street cred. Besides Battleborn, if you never sang this song drunk, you're not an adult. An outro that leaves you wanting to know how it actually ended for the singer. I don't listen to these songs as much as I used to because both are overplayed. This is the toughest choice for me so far, though. You can't even go off of the live versions because both bands are absolutely incredible live. The Killers have more energy, but Kings of Leon are slightly tighter, so it's even. I think I'm going to have to go with Mr. Brightside only because of nostalgia, and I can't say that I'll agree with myself about an hour from now. So I pick Mr. Brightside.
I feel like there's a lot of weight on my shoulders now.
It's 2-1 for Brightside, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think for me, I listened to both songs, and I've listened to both songs many, many times. I remember as a kid, it would be really easy to give it to Mr. Brightside on a nostalgia note. But I actually discovered the song similarly. I discovered Mr. Brightside by accident, like when I was a very young kid. And then I discovered Sex on Fire on demand as like an 11-year-old. So it's really, really, really so hard. I feel like young me likes Mr. Brightside more, older me likes Sex on Fire more. But I feel like Mr. Brightside is going to go down in history as I don't know if there's another song like that. That just it's almost like, well, fuck me, I'm Mr. Brightside, everything sucks. So I think I'm going to go with Mr. Brightside. I think I'm going to give it that 3-1.
Wow.
I think it's the slightly better song. We have to wrap up because we're running out of time. What's the fan vote?
The fan vote was 48 to 52, Mr. Brightside. So the fans agreed with us. Mr. Brightside goes on to play bad guy in the semifinals or the quarterfinals or whatever.
Cool.
All right.
Cool. That'll be a cool one.
That's it.
Next week's real fast. Next week's Larger Than Life versus Bye Bye Bye, and California Love by Tupac versus It Was All a Dream by Biggie. I forget what the title of it is.
We'll announce them.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
All right, listen, everyone. Black Lives Matter. Stay safe. Coronavirus is still a thing. Remember that.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
See everyone later.